Good morning, everyone. Are you all coming in? You're very welcome. It's great to have you all. My goodness, look at you all. Thank you so much for coming in to see me today, and a very happy Farm Safety Week. We're on day 2. You're very welcome to the second AgriKids webinar. It's for the slightly older boys and girls now, 8 to a 12-year-old. And big thanks to Flowgas for making this possible today. And some of you might not know me. My name is Alma, and I started AgriKids about 5 years ago because I wanted to create a whole army of AgriKids, which is you guys. I want to make you all experts in farm safety so you can help us farmers be a little bit safer, okay? So some of the tips, some of the advice, some of the things we're going to learn and talk about today would really help us farmers remember how to stay safe. And the kind of stuff we're going to cover off today is all about the different signs you might see around a farm, but not just the signs you might see around the farm hanging up. What about the different signs regarding the animals? Because animals are very good at telling us how they feel by how they behave. So we're going to talk a little bit about that too, okay? So let's just see who is here. Some homework first. The chat isn't open, but you can put everything into the Q&A. If you want me to say hello to you, put it into the Q&A. If you have a question, put it into the Q&A. And if you have an answer, you got it, put it into the Q&A. Now, let's see who is straight in. Oh, big hello to Matthew and Kieran Ryan, kicking us off today. Well done. Hi, guys. Thank you so much for coming along. So, let's get this show on the road. Are you ready to go? And by the way, if I ask you a little question and I ask you to put your hands up, you can see where to put your hands up at the bottom of the screen. Okay? So, let's go. Why do you think we need to put signs up around a farm anyway? Well, let me show you. If you were, for example, in the hay shed. Hello, Aileen Rothwell. Lovely to have you along today. How are you? If we're in the hay shed, Aileen, or maybe the straw shed, we're going to see things like this, aren't we? Maybe the smaller bales. So what kind of sign do you think we're going to have to put up there? What might happen in there? Oh, yeah, we could tumble, couldn't we? We could have a fall. Oh, wouldn't like that. Something could fall onto us as well. So it's really important that when farmers are putting up signs, that they put up the right sign in the right place to show us where the danger might be. They'd be brilliant signs to put up inside the hay shed. Oh, it's very handsome, isn't it? That's Barney. I love Barney. He's so handsome. What kind of sign do you think we should put up if Barney is about, or if Barney is doing his work? Because look behind Barney. He's minding some cows, isn't he? Yeah, he's minding the girls and saying, hey, you taking that picture, what are you doing in my field? I think whoever took that picture didn't see the sign on the gate telling us, yeah, there's a bull in there. You got to be careful. Okay? Now, what other aspects of a farm would need some kind of oh yeah, signs for these. Machinery. This is happening on our farm right now. We're actually on our second cut. We're actually doing some haylage and we're baling it at the moment, so big excitement. But because we've got balers working, we got wrappers working, we got tractors and trailers going, it's really important we make sure these signs are up to let people know there is machinery working. And we'll see a lot of these signs around a farmyard where a lot of machinery is going to be working to warn people that, listen, you're coming onto a farmyard, it's busy today, it's a workplace, and these are the kind of things that could happen. Water. Cows drinking water. How's that dangerous? Cows have to drink water, don't they? Yeah. Keeps them healthy, keeps them well. Oh, it's the water itself, I think. Yeah. What kind of sign would we need for a water area? That's a great one. That's a great one. And in fact, it's not just maybe drinking holes or sinkholes or ponds, rivers or lakes we got to be careful of. There's another water danger on a farm, isn't there? And it's a bit smelly. We're going to be talking about that smelly stuff later on, okay? And again, not only is it a bit smelly, but it's dangerous for 2 reasons. And this water danger is one of them, okay? Now, so hands up. Let's see what I'm dealing with here. Who's been on a farm before? Brilliant, amazing. And hands down now, who can tell me who lives on a farm? Let me see how many. I am dealing with a lot of farmers here today. Oh my goodness, guys, you're all so welcome. So guys, I was thinking, right, next time we go to visit a farm, let's do ourselves a little checklist. We get a pen and paper and we maybe think about some of the things that we're going to do or some of the things we're going to need to know before we go. Okay? Look who popped up to say hello. We're going to be talking about animals a little bit later on. And you see him? Yeah, isn't he beautiful? That's Shep. Now, Shep doesn't wear a sign, doesn't he not? But Shep is very good at telling us how he feels by how he behaves. So look at Shep here. What's he doing? I think he might be doing two things. Maybe he got in trouble and he's saying, sorry, I won't do it again. Or maybe he's looking for something. Do you reckon he's looking for something? I think he's seen something on the table, like a biscuit, and he's saying, please give me the biscuit. So we can see exactly how Shep is feeling just by how he's behaving. Shep, we're going to meet some of your little friends later on. Is that okay? Yeah? Fantastic. But guys, let's get our pens and papers and let's think about what we're going to do before we visit a farm. We're going to make our checklist. So the kind of things we're going to have to ask ourselves and tick off on our list. Get my pen ready, okay? First of all, who are you going with? You're not going to go on your own. Can't go there. It's a workplace. Can't just wander into somebody's workplace without letting them know. So is Granny coming, or is Mom, Auntie, Uncle, is Daddy coming? Okay. Have you found out who's going to go to the farm? Fantastic. Right, we've got our people who are coming with us. What else do we need to know before we go? Oh, very important. Now, what kind of farm are we going to be visiting? Because each farm will have different things on it, different things that might be dangerous, different things you're going to have to know about. So if you're going to visit a dairy parlour, for example, there's going to be loads of cattle there, potentially, and a certain stinky pit called a slurry pit. We're going to be talking about that later on. So we've got to be really careful that we know what kind of farm we're going to go to. On our farm here, we have a lot of horses. And at different times of the day, we know when they're going to be fed, when they're going to be led around the yard, put on the walker. And today, we're transporting loads of big round bales from the field into the shed. So we know exactly what kind of farm that we have here and what kind of things might be a bit dangerous on it. So if you know what kind of farm you're going to go to, you know exactly what kind of dangers you might need to be aware of. And that's a really good sign, okay? So give yourselves a tick for there, okay? But guys, whatever farm you're going to, you got to ask yourselves this question. Are there any big jobs planned? Like at the moment, we're sitting home today because there's loads of big jobs planned around our farm. All that machinery transporting all those bales. Do you think that's the right time to go and visit? So if there's big jobs planned, we're going to give it a miss until it's safer to go. Because believe you me, when the farmers are busy trying to get bales in, trying to get crops in, trying to get animals into the various pens, they're not thinking about having visitors coming to have a look around the farm. They're thinking about getting the job done, because that's the #1 priority. We've got to get the job done, okay? Now, if you're going to go, say hello to Isabel. Hi, Isabel. Do you know what? Isabel's in County Clare, and she's a great girl. Do you know what she loves doing? Great girl for feeding the calves with Grandad. And if you see over Isabel's shoulder, there's a little calf saying, hey, Isabel, where's me dinner? Feed me. Isn't she brilliant? But Isabel's a great girl, because whenever she goes down to visit the farmyard, she has her high-vis vest on to make sure she's totally visible. So when you're out walking, when you're going down to the farmyard, make yourself as visible as you can by putting on your high-vis vest. But did you know when is not a good time to wear a high-vis vest? When farmers should not put a high-vis vest on? We're going to talk about that a little bit later on, but I'll give you a hint. It's around the fields. maybe with certain livestock that might know you too well. You see these reflectors? That can spook some animals at times. So it's really important that we don't wear them around fields with the animals. But around the yard, absolutely. Going for a walk on the road, absolutely. Okay? Be safe, be seen. Okay? Okay, we have our high vis sorted. Okay? Top to, oh, this is a great one. Now, does everybody know their air code or their postcode? Yeah? Because by knowing your air code and your postcode, then you can tell any of the emergency services where you are, and they can come out to you if they need to come out to your house or out to the farm. And some good help, if you look up checkyourcode.ie or locate code, they can help you make sure that you have the exact right code for where you are, okay? And that's a really, really good tip. And actually, we have our air code written right beside our telephone, just in case we need to make a call, okay? So everybody know their air code? It will have numbers and letters in it, okay? Now, what's the last thing that we need to put onto our checklist? The signs. Do we know the different signs that we're going to see around the farm? Hands up if you think you know what the different signs are. Let's see. Hands up. Oh, a few of you. Some of you are not so sure. Okay. Well, I think let's talk a little bit about the different signs that we're going to see. But let's go into the Q&A first and see who we need to say hello to. Hi! Coming all the way from Tipperary is David and Olivia. Aileen Rothwell, are you bailing too? Isn't it great? It's fantastic weather. Lovely and sunny. Hi to Harry, Joe and Lottie Baker. Great to have you along. Hello again, Matthew and Kieran Ryan. How are you? Hi to Megan Keaveney in Glenamaddy. It's wonderful to have you along, guys. Absolutely wonderful. Hello to, oh, Anonymous. They have nothing planned at the moment for prevailing. That's okay. Don't worry about that. A high-vis jacket. Well done, Matthew and Kieran. You need your high-vis jacket. Let's have a look here now as well. Big hello as well to John and Magdalena. Lovely to have you guys along today. Guys, it's lovely to have you all along. Now let's go and find out a little bit more about the safety signs. The first one we're going to have a little chat about are these. Did you know all the signs are different colors? Did you know that? Yeah, all different colors, different pictures. And there's a very specific reason for that, okay? It's basically to let you know what kind of danger you might be looking at or what you might need to be aware of. Now, I used to get very mixed up with all these colors and all these signs. And I went, well, how do I know what's really important and what I need to be, a little bit careful of and what's okay? So show me all the hands, because I've got a really good idea to help us remember what the different signs mean, okay? So let's go over here. Let's go to the red zone, okay? What do you think red means? Show me all the hands. Give me a big thumbs down, okay? Because when we see a red sign, it means no, can't go. But when you see a green sign, it means you can go. You're good to go when it's green, okay? What about blue? Point your finger at me, guys, because when it's blue, then you have to. So you have to wear boots or you have to put on a hat, okay? And builders know all about those blue signs, okay? What about yellow and black or orange and black? What would that be? Both hands. Careful. Caution. Stay back. Mind yourself, okay? So red, green, blue, have to. Yellow and black, careful, okay? So let's put some of these to the test, okay? First up, yellow and black. Now, it's not snakes on the farm. I've had that before, okay? Let's go into the questions and answers. Guys, when you see a sign like this, what do you think we have to be careful of? Let's have a look in here and let's have a look and see. Anybody know? Let's have a look. Yes, well done. Well done. Matthew and Kieran, electricity, you're absolutely right. John, well done, electricity. You guys are amazing. Lottie, well done. Sophie, well done, electricity. That's right, guys. When we see that sign, we've got to be careful of electricity. And there's loads of places on a farm where we use electricity. For example, hands up if you've ever been or if you live on a dairy farm. Because wow, do you guys know there's more electricity used on a dairy farm than on any other type of farm? I mean, let's have a look here. All farms will have sheds which have lights, so we see all the lights up there. But in a dairy parlour, look at all the clusters. We've got chiller units as well, all powering and pumping and getting the milk into the chiller units to be taken off to the dairy. So it's really important that all those wires are properly covered, because we don't want any leaking electricity or stray voltage getting out and hurting our beautiful cows, don't we not? Now on our farm here, we've got a lot of animals. We've got a few heifers and we've got a lot of horses, and some of these horses here, very naughty. We put up some stud or wood fencing and we run a little bit of electric wire along the inside. Why? Well, they like to eat the wood fence, which is really bad for their tummy and really bad for our pocket, because that costs a lot of money to try and fix. So by keeping a little bit of electricity on the inside is keeping them back off the fence, okay? But guys, is it our hands we use to test if a fence is on? No, you get horrible shock. Going through all that electric wire is loads of volts of electricity, okay? And that basically is the kind of the strength of the pulse that we know is going through. And you could get like a little, or you get a horrible shock. I was actually trying to feed the horses one day and my elbow, my funny bone, hit off the electric wire. Oh, it wasn't nice at all. And it was me being silly and a little bit careless, okay? So to keep ourselves safe around electric fencing, I've got a few tips. Are you ready? To see if a fence is on, there's a few things we can do. One, listen. Show me all your ears. Stick all the ears out. Yeah, well done. When the fence is on, it'll make a really funny noise. Yeah, it'll go tick, 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 tick. And that says, oh, fence is on. Keep back. Another thing we can use are eyes. Because maybe, or there should be, a little sign up, just like this. This is one that I use because I can move it around the place if I put up a sign or put up a fence in a different area. So we look for a sign. Another thing we can use very easily, our voice. Hey, the fence on. Okay, that's easy, isn't it? But there's another thing I like to use. Hands up, guys, if you've ever seen one of these fence testers. Now these come in loads. These come in different shapes, sizes. Some are digital, some are a bit more manual, like the one that I have here. They're really handy. And how this works, right? A little bit of copper, put that into the ground, and that earths it, which means if this bit, the metal bit, comes or touches off electricity, that electricity will go up the black wire and power my little unit here. And you see all those little black holes? They're going to light up and tell me how many volts is going through my fence. 1,000 or all the way up to 6,000 volts. I'm going to put a bull in my field at 6,000 volts because a bull, if they know the fence is on, they're less likely to charge through it if chasing after something or someone, okay? So isn't that an easy way? You don't have to use hands. Now I know people like to use a little bit of grass, but again, I don't want little knuckles coming in contact with that wire. So we let the grown-ups, because they can move away a little bit quicker, okay? Now, another thing with electricity we got to talk about is this, especially when we've got combine harvesters coming out. We may have bales being brought out to fields and loaders up high, or forage harvesters are out there cutting grass, etc. So it's really important that we are very, very safety conscious as farmers when it comes to electrical wires that run over our heads or overhead wires. So a good tip for you guys to maybe share with your mums and dads, right? Just say the farmer is working away, maybe in their combine or some other kind of harvester, and they hit off an overhead wire. When that happens, that whole machine becomes electrical. Okay, so in that case, farmer stays inside the cab, rings the electricity supply board and says, guys, I've come in contact with a wire. They'll come out and turn off the wire so the farmer can get out. But what happens? I can smell smoke. if the farmer can smell smoke or can see a fire because he's come in contact with the electric overhead wires. Well, what the farmer has to do then, they have to do what's jump clean. They got to get out of the cab cleanly. And that means that they can't touch the ground and the machine at the same time. So they can't climb down and jump onto the ground while holding onto the machine, because that means they might get electrocuted because they'll be touching the machine. If they're touching the ground and the machine at the same time, then they're also touching the electric wire. So they got to jump clean and make sure that they don't touch the machine and the ground with their hands. So jump clean, and even sometimes they bunny hop away. And obviously then, when we got a fire situation and an electricity situation, we got to call the fire brigade, and we got to call the ESB networks or whoever supplies your electricity, okay? And do you remember I told you that the top tip, knowing your air code or your postcode or your location, that's the time that comes in really handy to help those guys get to you super fast, okay? So there's some top tips there with safety with electricity for our farmers, okay? Top AgriKids listening in today. What other signs do I have with me? Now, I've got something fun for you guys to do, okay? Did you know you can create your own electricity? It's very easy. All you need is a balloon and a piece of paper that you rip. Yeah, just rip it up into loads of little pieces. In fact, little pieces about the size of a postage stamp, okay? And then get yourself a balloon. Now, I asked my guys to get me some balloons, okay? Look at the size of balloons they got me. Yeah, okay, that's a little balloon. This is a normal balloon. Can't get the staff these days. But anyway, it's so cute, isn't it? My little balloon, okay? So we're gonna try this now. I've got all my little bits of paper inside my little bowl, okay? So you get the balloon, rub it off your hair, and that's going to create static electricity, okay? The balloon and the hair are going to become charged, and they're going to stick together. Look at that, you see that? And not only is your hair going to stick to it, but you're going to make paper dance. Yeah. Look, you can make the paper stick to the balloon the more times you rub it off your hair. So in the pictures, you'll see my son Eamon having an absolute ball and making the paper stick to the balloon by making it dance first. So when you're finished watching the webinar today, go and make your own static electricity and make the paper dance. You see that? Really, really simple. And I hope you get to use bigger balloons than what I got. Now, what's up next? Guys, can you all show me your number one finger? Show me the number one. There you go. Well done. Tractors, machinery, they're the number one danger on our farm. So we definitely got to have a sign for our tractors and machinery, okay? And for those of you who are around on Thursday, we're going to be doing loads more on tractors and machinery then, because it needs its own webinar, because tractors and machinery are number one danger, okay? So this is me. That's me. I think I was about 8 or 9 there. Okay, and that's my brother Derek and my little sister Emily. And my mom got us into a dress, got me and my sister into a dress, so she had to take a picture. But you see behind us here, look, it's hay time on our farm. I grew up on a farm in County Kildare in Selbridge. And look, that was our tractor then. Yeah, that's our tractor now. All right. So look, then small, big, small, big. In fact, huge. So when we're sowing now, this is the kind of setup that we have. And with a tractor that big, you see that back wheel? It's bigger than me. Back wheels on tractors are bigger than me. So they're definitely going to be bigger than you. Okay, I'm pretty tall. I'm about 5'6", 5'7", okay? I'm pretty tall. But that's way taller than me. So it's really important that we never get close to moving machinery. Because when I'm sitting inside that cab, driving away, okay, this is the sign that we use on our farm. I have a spare one, don't worry, I didn't take it. You see the cab? That's where I'm going to be sitting. And I'm sitting really high up when I'm there. I'm up towards the roof in your room. And when I'm all the way up there, I can't see very well. In fact, all I can see is this. You see, here I am plowing away. I can see what's directly out in front of me. I have a loader on here, so I actually can't see here. I have another blind spot here. And even when I use my back mirrors, I'm still kind of limited on what I can see, okay? So the nearer you are to my tractor, the least likely I can see you, okay? So we always got to make sure we keep back from moving machinery. All I can see is what's out in front of me, okay? Can't see what's directly down below, directly in front, and directly behind. Actually, behind is even worse, okay? So guys, we always keep back from moving machinery, especially now. We're in haylage time, silage time, probably going to be a third cut coming up around September. In between all of that, we're going to have harvest time. There's some combines operating right now just up the road from me here. It's machinery time, guys, so we got to be really, really clever and careful that we don't get too close to any of the moving machinery when they're doing their work. Now, as my AgriKids, I need you to do me a little favor. Hands up if you put on a seatbelt when you get inside the car. Let's see now, everybody look at you all with your seatbelts. You guys are fantastic. Brilliant. So tell me this. Inside here, the cab, we call it the safety zone. So when I'm driving my tractor, that's where I want to stay, okay? And the best way to keep us safe and sound inside our cars, inside our tractors, machinery, is by putting on our seatbelt. So if the tractor has a seatbelt, because I know not all tractors have them, it's really important that we use them. So everybody together, all of you, there's a lot of you out there, let's all practice putting on our seatbelt. Are you ready? Count to 3. 1, 2, 3. Click. Was that easy? Super easy, super fast. So remember, you're going to be AgriKids soon, which means you can boss the grown-ups around. You can tell them what to do. And the one thing to tell them to start doing, putting on a belt. That'd be great. Really would appreciate that. What else do I have? Oh, Halloween on the farm. No? Okay. Pirates on the farm. No. Okay. Put into the questions and answers box if you think you know what this sign means. And I'm going to say hello to a few more people. Let's have a look. Let's have a look. Let's have a look. Matthew and Kieran, poison, you guys are absolutely terrific. You are just getting all these answers. You guys are amazing. Yes, Sophie, it's poisons or toxins. Well done. Yes, John, poisons. Got to be careful of those. Well done. Absolutely, guys. Now, I know poisons are dangerous, but we got to have them on our farm because there's loads of little things on our farms which are not welcome. And they make it very difficult for us to farm. In fact, the things we use on our farms that could be poisonous, but really important, and here comes a very big word, pesticides. But all you really need to know about the word pesticides is the first 4 letters, pest. What kind of little pests or little naughty things makes it very difficult for us to farm and means we don't want them around? We need to get rid of them. Let me see. Oh, especially coming around the end of harvest, we don't want any of these little mice or rats coming in, don't we not? So we use what's known as a rodenticide or bait boxes to get rid of any rats and mice and to make sure they don't come back. Okay, we put them all around the edge. We actually have a few bait boxes around our own house here. We saw a few in and around the river, especially around rivers. They like to come up from it there, okay? What other little pests do we have on our farms that we don't want? Oh yeah, these flies make it really hard for our cows to produce lovely milk if they get a little fly infestation. And sheep, oh poor sheep, they get an awful thing called fly strike, and it's really, really nasty. The flies come in, they lay eggs, and maggots come out, the maggots go into their skin, and it's really, really awful. So we use, they're insects, so we use an insecticide to get rid of those little pests. What other pesticides do we use around our farm? Well, we got to mind our crops. We don't want any funguses or diseases getting on our crops. This is actually from a rose. My mother-in-law has beautiful roses, and she's always out with her fungicide to make sure her roses don't get that nasty little black spot on their leaves. But we also have one more pest on our farm that makes it very difficult to a farm. The weeds. We use different kinds of herbicides to get rid of weeds and unwelcome guests in our crops. And they're all the different kind of pests that we use and we see around a farm, and we use pesticides to get rid of them. And they're all the different types of pesticides that we use. The thing we got to be worried or cautious about with pesticides is to make sure we use them correctly. So you see spot on here, or any kind of pour on, it's very important that as farmers, we protect ourselves. And we use a nitrile glove. Is very good because it doesn't let anything absorb in, okay? And it's very good if you're especially using injections and that kind of thing. It won't pierce your skin. So, and we're all very well aware of PPE now with COVID and everything else. Personal protective equipment, PPE. So we've got to make sure we keep ourselves really safe when we're working with different types of pesticides. We use face masks also, so fumes don't go in. And the kind of dangers you might see around the pesticides are always shown on the bottles. So here we have the fungicide, and if you look on the back bottle, all those different signs. For example, it might burn your skin. It's not good for the environment if you pour it into a river or a lake, so don't do any of that. An irritant, it might, if it got into your eye or maybe onto your skin, it could cause you to itch. And this one, and here it is bigger, if you breathe it in by accident, it's not good for your chest or on the inside, okay? So all those signs are really, really important. And that's why we got to make sure we lock away all of our pesticides and animal medicines. They're fantastic at keeping us safe around the farm, but they're not good for you or me. There's one other little danger I want to talk to you about. This one. Ooh. Hands up, who can tell me what is Slurry made from? What can you straight in there? Well done. Keep it nice now. Let's go into the questions and answers and see what people can say. Yeah, oh, rodents, very good word, Matthew and Kieran, well done. Who can tell me what Slurry is made from? You're all putting up your hands. Anonymous attendee, we won't use that word. Tell me another one. Dung, well done. Whose dung though? Whose dung do we use as Slurry? There's quite a few animals that actually give us good Slurry. It's their poo and their pee. Well done, guys. Poo and pee. Well done. And why do we keep pee and poo on the farm? Why do we do that? Does anybody know? Does anybody know? Exactly. It's brilliant at making the grass grow. Look at it here. We can use Slurry from pigs, from chickens, that's particularly pongy, I have to say, and cows, mostly cows, because we use, obviously on dairy farms there's quite a large number of cows, so we get more Slurry, so they tend to give us more. But it's brilliant at making grass grow. Grass loves it. It grows strong, it grows green, it grows delicious, and when the grass tastes good and the animals are happy, cows produce more milk, other animals get nice and fat, giving us more meat. And the farmer should get more money. So Slurry is really important and pretty cost effective because, you know, you feed the animals, I know that, but they give us lovely pee and poo to put onto our grass to make everything grow again. And the next couple of days, there's going to be a real strong Slurry smell in my house because we're going to be spreading Slurry again because we've just done a cut of a haylage. So I'm getting ready for it, okay? The thing with Slurry is, guys, we've got to be careful, okay? There is something poisonous inside Slurry. And with all that water and that pee and everything else, it's a drowning danger as well. So the reason why we've got to be so careful around Slurry, and I couldn't bring a Slurry tank into my house, obviously. So this bottle of cola is going to be our Slurry tank today, okay? And for the younger children, I always talk about this sleepy, sneaky snake gas that starts to grow and get bigger inside our Slurry tanks. Over winter, we don't spread Slurry, okay, because it's too cold and nothing grows, okay, and we don't want any Slurry getting washed into our drinking water. But the thing is, can I say, hey cows, no poos now for winter. So our tanks get really, really full of Slurry, and because it's pee and poo, there's loads of bacteria in there as well, and they're having a bit of a party. They're eating and drinking, loving it, and they're creating all that eating and drinking that the bacteria are doing are making certain gases grow. Okay, some are fine, Breathe into your hands. That's carbon dioxide. Fine. But the gas in here that's not fine is called hydrogen sulfide. Can you all say that after me? Hydrogen sulfide. Louder. Hydrogen sulfide. And at a very low level, it'll smell like rotten eggs. But at a high level, you won't be able to smell it because it takes away your sense of smell. And that's why I call it the sleepy, sneaky snake gas. You don't even know it's there. It's just lying underneath the surface, waiting for its chance to get out. But it can't really get out until we do a certain job. And that job happens maybe mid to late January, when we are allowed to spread slurry and we can feed our grass. Because our slurry has been sitting idle for the whole of winter, we've got to do something with it. We've got to mix it back together again. It's all separated, got a bit dry on top. Do you ever have Weetabix and porridge? Yeah? Sometimes that gets a bit dry if you leave it. So you put a bit of milk in, you mix it with a spoon. Does anybody know what it's called when we mix slurry? I'll give you a tip. It's written on top of the screen. Let's see if anybody knows what we call when we're mixing slurry. You know. Oh, hands are up. Matthew and Kieran agitating. You guys are on fire today. Oh my goodness, well done. Agitating, absolutely. We agitate, and what we do is we get an agitator, like a big mixing spoon. We lower it into the tank. We start the tractor, which starts the agitator. And we start mixing and churning all the slurry back together again. The thing is, as soon as we start agitating slurry, you wake something up. Hello, Elliot Haggerty. It's lovely to have you along here today. How are you? I'm agitating slurry. As soon as we start agitating the slurry, Elliot, we wake something up. We set something free. That's why I call it the sleepy, sneaky snake gas, because it hisses and it comes out. And the thing is, as soon as that gas starts coming out, it's very important. And you see where our farmer is, they're out of there. As soon as we start agitating the slurry, we are out of there, because the first 30 minutes is the most dangerous, because you've just let all that gas out in one go. That's when it's the most toxic. That's when there's the most of it. So we got to get out of that shed, away from that area, and stay away for at least half an hour. If there's not a lot of wind about, give it an hour, because the wind is really good at helping the gas get up and get away. But as soon as we've done our agitating, we can drain our tank, spread slurry all over our grass and feed it and make our animals happy, which is always very, very important. So slurry, ace for grass, for you and me, okay? Really important. Now that was yellow signs. Careful. Remember the blue signs. What do blue signs mean? You have to. So you always know when you see a blue sign, you have to do something like, oh, hang on, excuse me. Put on glasses, maybe protect our eyes from particles that might be flying. And builders have to know all these signs. High-vis vest, boots. Yeah, I got it here. My hard hat. Yeah, I'm doing what I'm asked to do. Keeping myself safe, look. Protect the owl noggin. And here's a blue sign I think we all know. Long before COVID came, I was telling all the boys and girls how important it was to wash your hands, especially around the farm and animals. Zoonosis is when a disease goes from an animal to a person. So by washing our hands, warm soapy water, all the way, and the thumbs and the wrists, wiggle in between, 20 seconds, dry them off. It's keeping you safe and healthy against different diseases from animals, and obviously with COVID too. And remember, 20 seconds is the magic number, okay? So blue signs, blue means you have to. Red, no, not allowed. And we had to put up loads of these signs because some people were out walking and thought it was okay to go into our field. Maybe go up to the heifers, maybe go up to a mare and foal. No, absolutely not. When you see that sign, it means you're not allowed. Stay out, stay back, okay? So red is, remember, but green's good to go. Guys, when you're back at school, look over the doors and see if you see any of these green signs, because green means go, and if there's an emergency, That's the sign you look for, and that's the sign you follow to get yourself out to safety. And in loads of schoolyards, I always see this sign, the assembly point. So if you're doing a fire drill or an emergency drill, that's where you'll all be sent to stand, and it'll be nice and safe. Okay, the green is good, isn't it? So that's why signs have all these different colors and pictures, and it's really, really useful. But the last thing we need to talk about today is our animal friends, because as I said, we might see these signs around the farm, but it's how they're behaving and what signs they're giving us that we need to be really, really aware of. Okay, so let's start with my wonderful friend Larry. Larry is a sweetie. Look at Larry here. Hands up who thinks Larry is delighted to meet you all. Let's see what, oh, straight up guys, you know your dogs. Well done, yeah. Larry is super chilled, super relaxed. He's sitting on the sofa. His ears are nice and relaxed. His mouth is open. He's panting away. Happy, happy boy. Do you want to meet his cousin, Chico? Chico's not a morning person. Hands up if you think Chico is in a grumpy mood today. Yeah, show me all the teeth. Some people think when a dog is showing their teeth like that he's smiling at you. He's not smiling at you. Oh no, he's saying, leave me alone, leave me alone. And when a dog is doing that, they are not happy. I used to have a dog and he hated the hairdryer. So I'd be there drying my hair and he'd be over there going, now he wasn't going to do anything to me, but he was letting me know, not happy the hairdryer was on. Okay, so I used to do where I said, listen, Jimmy, I got to dry my hair, you know. So, but as soon as the hairdryer went off, he was back to looking like Larry, chilled and happy. Okay, so definitely not. That's probably the first warning sign the dog is giving you, to leave me alone. Okay. Oh, Marmaduke. I think Marmaduke is enjoying getting a little rub today. I don't think so. I think he's saying, hey, you, leave me alone. What about Kitty? Kitty's loving it. That's the sound a cat makes when they're happy, isn't it? Not happy. Happy. So look at that. Look at Kitty. Happy out. In fact, I've got some great petting tips for you. Okay? That's my little friend here. Look. Isn't he gorgeous? Say hello to a Charlie. Charlie is my little pet. Charlie, we're going to do some petting tips. Is that okay? Yeah? You're happy about that? Okay, good, good. Now, Charlie, let's show everybody. So if you're at, we say, I don't know, a house and there's a dog there that you don't really know that well, but you always ask the owner first if you can give it a little rub. But a good tip to let us know if a dog is happy to be petted or not happy to be petted is the count to 3 approach. So what you do is you just go, hi, doggy. Take your hand up and count 1, 2, 3. If the dog says, hey, give me more of that, you know that they wanted it. But if they say, ah, no, you're grand, and they walk away, then you know, listen, they're not in the mood for being petted today. So we might leave them alone for a little bit. Another time when it's not okay to pet a dog or a cat is when they're having their dinner. Always better to wait till after dinner to give them a little pet, because believe you me, because they're probably born with loads of brothers and sisters, they're very protective of their food. And it's my food, okay? And when you go and try and give them a rub, they think you're trying to take the food. And that can make them a little bit cross and grumpy, and they might snap, okay? And it's not really their fault. They're just trying to protect their food, okay? So always wait until after dinner. So the count to 3 approach and waiting till after dinner are my top tips today for petting. So dogs and cats are pretty easy. Yeah, you know, they'll kind of go or happy. What about the animals on our farms? Did you know horses use their ears and their tails to tell you how they feel? So everybody, show me your horsey ears. Just like that. I'll sit down a little bit, okay? Now, when horses are happy to see you, their ears are forward. When they're listening, they'll twist them from side to side. A little bit tired, their ears go out to the side. But if they're scared, cross, nervous, grumpy, anything bad, boom, the ears are back. And that's the warning. Uh-oh, something's up. Stay back. Now, I took some pictures of some horses recently. and we're going to see how they feel. We're going to test this theory. Are you ready? Oh, look at this horse. What are their ears doing? They're kind of out, aren't they? So I reckon those ears were twisting because that horse is being a very good horse and listening to what the rider is asking them to do. You see, the rider is using the reins and the bit and different aids to let the horse know what they would like them to do. And that very good horse is listening. I had ponies when I was growing up. They never listened to me. Very cheeky. One called Mikey comes to mind in particular. Okay, what other horses do I have here? Oh, now this horse is on our farm. And I always knew she wouldn't let me down if I needed a horse that was doing this. Ears are back, aren't they? Bad, isn't it? Yeah, this is Maggie. And Maggie is an exceptionally good mother. And on this particular day, Maggie had just had her little foal, a filly foal, a girl foal, and the little foal was in there at the back, kind of, you know, walking around, getting used to having big, long legs. And Maggie, being a really good mother, was giving us the warning signs to stay back. She was protecting her little baby and letting us know that we weren't that welcome to come close, because she had a big job to do minding her little one. In fact, all animal mummies are extremely protective of their baby, whether it's a pig, whether it's a cat, whether it's a dog, a horse, a cow, it doesn't matter. Extremely protective and can get very, very aggressive. So we got to be super careful with animals, especially with their babies. Maggie was giving us the warning, and believe you me, we listened. I reckon the lip is out like that as well. Yeah, super relaxed, super chilled. We leave them to have a little snooze. This happens in our yard twice a day, morning and evening. All heads out, all ears up. They're interested. They want to know what's going on because they've heard the buckets. They're about to be fed. And that's what I reckon has happened here. So look at all these guys. Absolutely, totally in tune to what's going on and interested and wanting to find out more. Okay, so you see, just by using their ears, we can learn so much about how animals are feeling. And if you see a horse kind of swishing its tail, it's probably feeling a little bit annoyed. Maybe it's swishing away flies, but if it has a rider on its back and it's swishing its tail like that, chances are the ears will be back too, which means they're not in a very good mood. And maybe the rider needs to check a few things on their bridle or on their tack to make sure everything is okay. Okay. Now, when it comes to horses though, feeding them or like hand feeding them or standing near them, there's a few things we need to be really, really careful of. First of all, you see her hand there? Can everybody show me your hand? Okay, put it as a little cup, okay? We don't feed a horse like that, okay? Because you're not really giving them a huge amount of room to take the food. Much better to keep your hands nice and flat, because by keeping your hand nice and flat, they can take the food straight off and not make a finger or pinch a little bit of skin. You see, that horse can't really get the food there, but that horse there has every opportunity to take the food. So top job here. Now, where to stand? See my little horsey here? Horses' eyes are on the edge of their head. They're over here and here. And that means they can see nearly a full circle. But there's two places they can't see. Two places we shouldn't stand. And if we put our horse like that, we should never walk up behind a horse. Can't see you. They can hear you, but they can't see you. And we never walk up straight up like that, especially if their heads are down and they're grazing like that, because they won't see you. They have to lift their heads up to see what's going on. You frighten the life out of the poor little things. And look at this chap here. He didn't listen, did he? And look what happened. He walked up behind, ears are back, threw back a kick, because that horse is defending themselves, okay? So we never walk up behind, never walk right in front. Best place to approach is at the side. That area there is the horse's shoulder, and that's where we go. And when I'm working with horses and I have to go towards the back, I'll always give them a little pet, say, hi love, it's just me, and I'll rub my hand down along their back and do whatever I need to do, maybe brush out a tail or pick out a back hoof. They know it's just me. Use your voice, use your little bit of touch, and that reassures them that all is okay. All right? Our final animal of the day, guys. The bull. So handsome, so beautiful. So this is Barney, and Barney's girlfriend is Camilla. Isn't she gorgeous? She is. Hands up though, let's have a little competition now. Hands up who thinks Barney is the most dangerous animal on a farm. Let's see. Wow, wow. When all those hands are going up, let's see if I have any questions. Let's see. Oh, the agitating and the gas. Oh, well done, well done. 30 for agitation of gas, Matthew and Kieran. If it's a windy day, it's 30 minutes is the recommended time to stay out. But if there's no wind, give it an hour, because we need the wind to help blow the gas away. And I always think a little bit longer is much better than a little bit less. Okay, so we up to an hour is definitely better. Okay, but well done. Great question, guys. Great question. You all love Kitty. I'm so happy. I'm so happy. So a lot of people, well then, if that many people think Barney is very dangerous, how many people might think Camilla? She's a little baby. How can she be dangerous? Who thinks Camilla is the most dangerous? Wow. It's a tie. I don't believe it. It's a tie. That rarely happens. A lot of people think that Barney is the most dangerous, but guess what? Look over here to Camilla. She causes way more accidents than this guy. In fact, she's about 7 times more dangerous than him. But she has a good reason. Remember Maggie from the years back? My beautiful mare. Well, Camilla here, freshly calved cow, very protective mummy, very protective. Will kick, will puck, just to protect her little one. In fact, the calving process, even before and just after, very stressful for a cow. And they get very agitated, very angry. And as farmers, we've got to be really, really careful around them and use proper crush devices and calving gates, etc., to make sure we keep ourselves way safe, because so many farmers have been hurt when working with freshly calved cows. Okay, so we've got to be really, really careful. A lot more accidents caused by Camilla than by Barney, but just because she's been a really good mum. Okay, but that's not to say that himself here isn't a bit bold, isn't a bit dangerous. All right, in fact, if we look at Barney here, you see how he's staring down whoever took that picture? That's a warning sign right there. He said, hey you, what are you doing in my field? Okay, I hope that was a long lensed camera, by the way, and that photographer was a good bit back. Look at this guy. See, his head is out a little bit like that. That's a good sign. He's saying, yeah, I'm good. I'm chilled. I'm feeling it. And you see here what they have inside their little noses, a ring. Very important to put a ring in a bull's nose, and maybe at about 9 months old, when they're starting to really mature, maybe getting a bit aggressive. Putting the ring in calms them, okay? And it means we can hang ropes and chains, lead and handle the bulls correctly, okay? And my granddad had a very, very strict rule when it came to putting a ring in a bull's nose. He used to say farmers should not put a ring in their own bull's nose because it can hurt the bull a bit. And if you hurt your bull, will he like you? Will he trust you? What will he do to you? Something like this. Lowering the head, pawing at the ground. That's a warning sign that the bull is getting ready to charge. So we always get vets in or professionals in to maybe put a ring in a bull's nose, because if the bull knows the farmer is somebody who's going to hurt them, they could attack the farmer, and we don't want that to happen. Okay, doing there. And you see these. This obviously isn't a bull from around here. There is no way we would allow horns on our bulls. We always take them off at a very, very young age, maybe 2 or 3 weeks old, before the bone is actually fused. The horn has fused onto the skull. We get rid of those horns, because even if the bull is only playing, that could cause a huge amount of damage. Over here, there's been a little bit of regrowth, but it's turned down. Okay, turned up like that? No. The final thing we're going to cover off today is a little bit of a myth that I'd like to put right. You see that jacket I am wearing? Yeah. A lot of people feel that red is a very bad color to wear around a bull, that it makes them angry. Can anybody tell me something about bulls and color? And I'll give you a few seconds in the box here to see what you all say. Let's have a look. Barney is only being protective. He is when he's staring down like that. He's saying, hey, I'm minding my cattle. Get out, get out. That's it. Angus bulls don't have horns, which is great, isn't it? Yeah, well done. Matthew and Kieran are nailing it today. Well done. They are colourblind. And guess who did it? My dynamic duo, Matthew and Kieran. Well done, guys. They are colourblind. In fact, they can't see red. They can't see green. They see kind of pale blue, pale yellow, mostly shadows, and they're fine. They don't mind that. What they don't like is things waving, things moving. So you know that awful person out in Spain doing all this, the matador, don't like him. Don't like them. It's not the colour of that rag or that cloak that is angering the bull, it's the movement that they are creating, okay? So that's what really angers bulls. But did you know that farmers are advised not to wear high-vis jackets or clothes when in a field with livestock, especially livestock they don't know or livestock that's a bit jumpy, because those reflectors can actually spook and scare the cattle. And farmers have been known to kind of start a bit of a stampede or a bit of a charging situation. So high-vis, wear them around the yard, maybe around the sheds, but don't go into the field with them on. My very good friend Angus Mannion gave me that tip, and it's one that I'm going to pass on to you, my AgriKids, to make sure that you always know that, okay? So don't put on the high-vis vest when farmers are going into fields, because those reflectors can actually spook them. But as opposed to wearing red around a bull, you don't mind, he can't see it. Just no shaking, no being silly, okay? You like him, we like her, and we want to make sure that we respect them at all times, okay? Guys, we've just been on the farm, visited the animals. Remember the hand washing? I'm going to leave you with that very, very strong piece of advice. 20 seconds. Zoonosis. That's when a disease goes from an animal to a person. Okay, so always keeping our hands nice and clean, especially if you're going off to have a little bit of lunch later on. Okay? So, well done. You have done it. Oh, and a big shout out to all the boys and girls here in Temple Roon National School. I can't wait till I can get back into some schools again to see you all. But as you are now, my latest AgriKids, I need to remind you all again to do your AgriKids promise, okay? So let me see, put your right hand up, and we're going to say this together, the AgriKids promise. I promise to never go to a farmyard on my own, never approach an animal I don't know or without the owner's permission, and I promise to keep away from all farm machinery when they're at work. Okay, and remember, we'll be doing way more on farm machinery on Thursday morning at 10:30. So do register, come along, and you're going to meet my good friend Noel as well. He knows everything about quad bikes. He's really, really smart. Okay, so big thanks to Flowgas, who supported the event here today. And I'm running a very special competition, and two of you might even win yourselves a pretty nice AgriKids Flowgas prize pack and a one-for-all voucher. Treat yourself to a bit of online shopping, guys, okay? But I want you to do something. I want you to design for me your own farm safety poster. Take a picture of it and email it into info@agrikids.ie. The closing date is going to be the 10th of August 2010. And just to remind you again, this Thursday, July 23rd, we'll be talking all about machinery. Okay, and quad bikes and all the other things that I know we all love to see around the farm. So guys, thank you so much for joining me today and for taking part. And again, if you have any other questions, let's just see, does anybody else have any questions before I go? Matthew and Kieran, see you guys. Thank you so much for coming along. It's been great to see you. Well, you can see me, I can't see you, but I love that you all came in today. Bye, Sophie. Thank you so much for coming along. You're very, very welcome. Very, very, very welcome. Yeah. And big hello again to John and Magdalena. A cow kicked, somebody here, anonymous, a cow kicked my granddad when she was calving. Hope your granddad is okay. Lisa, well done. A cow is dangerous. Well done. Megan Keaveney, Maggie, cows can be angry. They absolutely can. Big hello to Alicia and Quiva McHugh. They are aged 10. Great to see you. Maria O'Neill knows all about agitation, as does Lisa and Aileen Rothwell. Well done. Elliot Hegarty, cow poo. Elliot Hegarty, pig poo. Thelma McHugh, You know about your slurry. Well done. Lisa, slurry is a fertilizer. Well done. Aidan Doherty. Thank you, Aidan. Poo. Scott and William Pringle. Poop and wee. And what are we talking about, guys? Slurry. Absolutely. And I'm going to finish off by saying a very nice hello as well to Maria O'Neill. Thank you so much for listening in today. And guys, if you've any other questions, just drop me an email, info@agrikids.ie. And I hope to see loads of you again on Thursday morning at 10:30. Until then, take care and look after yourselves on day 2 of Farm Safety Week. Guys, take care. Bye-bye.